Subject is about the driving violation detection using vehicle data and environmental conditions. Nowadays, the cost of car accidents have a catastrophic impact on human societies. To this end, a number of research have been conducted in order to design systems that are able to detect driving violations. Similarly, the present study was conducted to propose an approach that is able to detect and classify the driver's behavior into two categories, which are labeled as traffic offenders and non-offenders, using information collected via vehicle sensors and devices, such as a smartphone. Monitoring the driver behavior is a common field in intelligent transportation system and human factors studies. Several methods have been introduced in literature to explore human factors in driving activity, which are categorized in two terrains based on feature types. First method based on non-visualized feature, and the second method based on visualized feature. The first one is the methods that are based on non-visualized signal of a vehicle, such as acceleration, speed, frequency use of brake, or some signals from drivers such as ECG or PPG. And the second method focus on some signals from driver's face or driver's body, and it uses computer vision methods to recognize some abnormal behavior of a driver, such as distraction and drowsiness, via monitoring the driver's eye, head move, and hand status of driver. The required data for the current study were collected experimentally by driving for about 20 minutes on Sheikh Fazlullah Nouri Expressway in Tehran, Iran. In this experiment, driving offensively and non-offensively were simulated. This figure illustrates the track taken in the experiment. The experiment comprised of two main parts. The first part lasted 13 minutes and was carried out without any violation. That is, the driver maintained a safe distance with the car in the front of it and drove between the lane within the speed limit, which was between 18 to 19 km per hour. While the data were being collected, all the traffic rules were followed during the experiment, and the engine RPM was maintained at a reasonable level. In the second part of the experiment, the same path was taken, but with a number of offenses. That is, the driver did not maintain a safe distance to other vehicles and kept a high engine RPM, and the speed either was violated the expressway speed limit. These data are collected during the experiment. Data items that were collected during the experiment include acceleration in 3 axes, XYZ, location information at latitude and longitude, vehicle's speed, engine RPM, and traffic condition and speed limit. We monitor the driver behaviors in a in a time slot, which each slot has a label of normal or violation. Therefore, we applying a 10-second time window with 50% overlap with previous window and apply this window on data. A common technique employed in the supervised machine learning models is dividing the data into two sets, training and testing. Therefore, the data were divided into two sets, including training and testing. 80% of the data was assigned for training and 20% was assigned for testing. Through the experiment conducted in the current study, the finding result in presenting a method that detects the offensive drivers. To this end, machine learning was used along with SVM, which is a supervised learning technique to group the collected data into two categories, offensive and non-offensive. For evaluating the models, we use several techniques. In the first step, we use the accuracy. The accuracy of our model is about 96%. And here we can see the confusion matrix that shows the efficiency of our model. And here is the figure that highlights the efficiency of proposed model, the ROC. The area under curve for the model is about 98%. That is very close to 1. In the end, I should say that the previous studies regarding drivers' condition were mostly based on visual detection, which is often costly since it requires a camera to capture and monitor the driver's actions. However, there are some methods using mobile device, which are preferably cost-wise. In this study, vehicles data, which was provided by vehicle sensors, as well as the environmental and location data of the road on which drivers was driving, were taken into account using a smartphone and free geographical information available. The findings of the experiments are significant since, while keeping the budget low, they considered the environmental data along with the vehicle's status data. Besides, gathering and using environmental data were mostly focused during the experiment. On the basis of the collected data, the driving of a driver could be classified as offensive or non-offensive. And finally, I should thank to all audience.